a different video from me today. As you know, we're in lockdown at the moment, so getting out and travelling is impossible. We're kind of refined to just our houses and our local areas. So there hasn't been a great deal for me to film recently. But one thing I have been doing, and you'll probably notice if you follow me on Instagram at all, I've been taking part in the 100-day challenge and I've decided to paint. So I bought myself a little sketchbook and I've been just painting little landscapes every day, and it has just been so much fun, and it's just been a really great way to take my mind off the current climate. So it's just been great, and thank you so much to everyone who sent through questions. I asked last week whether there was anything that you guys wanted to know about the way I paint, or the references that I use, the materials I paint with. So we've got a lot of videos coming up, which should be good. Today I wanted to start by taking you through the current materials I use. I don't own anything particularly expensive or fancy. My notepads or sketchbooks are pretty tiny and pretty cost effective. So there's pretty much no reason why you can't get started with painting straight away if you want to. So let me show you. So this is everything I'm currently using. As you can see, it's a bit of a hodgepodge of materials. I'm a firm believer in the fact that you don't really need fancy materials to get started with painting. I'm currently using whatever paint I have left over from my student days, plus a couple of tubes of gouache. So these are the gouache here, these are all acrylics. I tend to mix them all together and I don't really follow any technical rules for painting. I just tend to mix whatever I have together and hope for the best. So far so good. It's been working pretty well for me at the moment because the art shops in the UK are currently closed, so I can't actually buy any new media even if I wanted to. Also, I find that working with whatever you have to hand makes you work that little bit harder, and in turn makes you a better artist in the long run, so a win-win. So as you can see here, we've got some random little tubes of this brand. I don't actually know what brand that is, but little tiny tubes of acrylic, which I've had for years. Some mixing white, a few tubes of gouache, which are relatively new. I got these just before lockdown, and I've actually been mixing these with the acrylic, which might be a bit controversial, I don't know, but it seems to work and I really like the colours, so I mean, it works for now. Basically what I'm trying to say is don't get hung up on buying the best materials, just use whatever you have to hand, whatever you can get your hands on. It's a pretty tough time out there at the moment and not everything is available to buy, so just go with what you have. So paper and sketchbooks are something that I do tend to spend more time researching, and if, like me, you tend to water down your paints a lot, you'll probably want to use some pretty thick paper. So the sketchbooks I currently use are by a brand called Stillman & Byrne. This is the one that you've probably seen on my Instagram at the moment. It's I think it's an A6 sketchbook. The weight of the paper is 270, so it's super thick. It's a mixed media, but the pages, I'll get to a blank page, are really smooth. It's almost like thin card. So the paper doesn't wrinkle, it doesn't bleed, there's no like puckering or folding, so everything stays pretty flat. These are pretty much my favourite sketchbooks in the world. They are a US brand, I'm pretty sure, but they're pretty easy to get in the UK as well. I've been ordering mine online during lockdown, so I will leave the link in the description box below so you can get some if you want. So I've got this one, this is part of the Zeta series, but I've also got an A5 version, which is, let's check, this is the Delta series. It's a little bit different, same weight of paper, it's 270, but it's an ivory paper and it's a little bit sort of more textured, it's a bit coarser. Haven't used this before, as you can tell, it's brand new, but as soon as I finish this tiny one, I'm going to move on to this, so I'm really excited to give it a try. Another one I've got, again, haven't used it yet, but it's a landscape version of the Zeta tiny one. It's so pretty. And then loose paper. I'm not particularly fussy about loose paper, but I do have a couple of loose paper pads, so just want to keep the tear out. I've got an A4 version and I've got an A3 version, which is just over there out of shot. This is, again, it's a 220 weight, mixed media. Pretty heavy, almost like thin card. It's very textured. I haven't tried this one out yet. but I'm going to very soon, so I'll let you know. But I'm pretty certain it'll be alright. There you go. And then in terms of paintbrushes, in the same way that I'm not fussy about my paint, really, I'm not that fussy about my paintbrushes. This is my little canvas wrap that I shove all my brushes in. If I can open it. So at the moment, I've got, so these are just a collection of quite cheap long brushes. I only use these for canvases or when I'm using an easel. They're just from Amazon, and I know they'll fray and start to break off and molt very soon, but you know what, they do the trick at the moment. But the ones I've been using at the moment for my sketchbook are these fine small ones. These actually came from a artist friend of mine, Loz, and they've just absolutely saved my life this lockdown because I haven't got out to buy any more. The ones I was using before I was given these were, again, these cheapy ones, but I don't know if you can see, but they've just frayed, and I'm not very good at looking after my paintbrushes particularly well, which means detailed work can be pretty tricky. The canvas wrap as well, I'll link below, it's really useful. I'm going to make a smaller one, I think, for travel purposes. The palette, I don't have a paint palette, I'm just using an old saucer that came with a teacup, does the trick. And then for sketching and getting everything ready to paint, I use a general HB pencil, not fussy about the type, as long as it draws, doesn't really matter. A sharpener, of course, and a general eraser. Again, no idea where this came from, it's just in my art box. Yeah, and that is pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of push the point that it may seem really tempting to spend loads of money on like really good materials when you're first starting out, but you really don't have to. You can just use whatever you've got. You don't have to be technical. You don't have to be true to all the rules when it comes to painting. Just get what you have and give it a try. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you find it useful. I would love to know if you guys are also painting or doing any art during lockdown as well. If you are, tag me on any of your stuff on Instagram. I'd love to see it. Let me know in the comments below. And hopefully this was useful in some way. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.